Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Welcome back. This is just amazing to me. So I've been seeing there's been thousands of videos and posts that have been on this all day. And if you are still late to the game, last night I broke the news just before going to bed that Rotten Tomatoes had changed their entire layout, their entire system, all to protect Captain Marvel. They're going to try and claim something else. They're going to try and spin it into something else. They're going to try and say it's a bunch of trolls. It's a bunch of bots. Before, remember with The Last Jedi, it's a bunch of Russian bots. Oh, it's just a bunch of Russian bots. And yet that was proven to be completely false and completely stupid. And now they're going after and saying, oh, it's just a bunch of coordinated attacks. Review bombing coordinated attacks. But this is now what the new Rotten Tomatoes looks like. So, as you can see up here, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. And so you may have noticed some of the recent changes we made. To read more about what we've been working on behind the scenes, please check out our new Rotten Tomatoes production blog. Ooh, what's this all about? Editorial? We're making some exciting new changes, everybody. Exciting new changes. This has nothing to do with the fact that we were pressured by a bunch of big media corporations to do this, right? Right? Sure. Today we are excited to start our product update blog, which will allow us to keep you informed on changes and updates on Rotten Tomatoes. So now not only have they changed the entire format of the website, not only have they changed this entire system, but now they've also had to create a product update blog on top of that. This is what Rotten Tomatoes is doing at this point. And also, look at that, 105 comments. Oh, look at that. They're actually here. They were blocked not too long ago, but oh man, and every single one of these comments is a pretty angry. An error has occurred by saying, wait, what? Why? Wait, why can't I? I'm trying to say angry. An error has occurred. Ooh, I sense a little bit of trollery here. So it says, over the past 18 months, we've made a number of updates at Rotten Tomatoes, all in an effort to streamline the site and provide users with a more enriched experience. These updates include the launch of a new visual identity. You don't hate the red anymore, right? The creation of new original editorial, video, and social content, and a revamped Tomato critics criteria that better reflects the current media landscape, increases inclusion, and more fully serves the global entertainment audience. Too bad that you don't include people who don't agree with and go along with your identity politics SJW nonsense. How about instead of trying to be inclusive to a bunch of people who agree and believe in the same things you do, why don't you include people who are not going to tiptoe around, who are not going to just make crap up, who are not just going to defend a film just because it aligns with them politically, and how about instead you get a little bit more diversity of thoughts behind the screen? Maybe that would help you. We're proud of what we've accomplished, but let's get to what you really want to hear about. Starting this week, Rotten Tomatoes will launch the first of several phases of updates that will refresh and modernize our audience rating system. We're doing it to more accurately and authentically represent the voice of fans while protecting our data and public forums from bad actors. Are you kidding me? So they are using this as an excuse. They are using actual people leaving their thoughts on a movie to try and claim bad actors. I mean, that sounds more like a political term than anything else. So bad actors and, protecting the data, but also having a more accurate and authentic representation of the voice of the fans. You just stole the voice of the fans. You just took away the voice that fans have to say, I don't want to see this movie. I have no interest in seeing this movie, because guess what? That's all anyone was doing with the not interested rating. As of February 25th, we will no longer show the want to see percentage score for a movie during its pre-release period. Why, you might ask? We found that the want to see percentage score is oftentimes confused with the audience score percentage number. No, only by shill media morons who don't understand the difference between a review and saying, I don't want to see this beforehand. Those are the only people that are confused here. Most people who are engaging in this, most people who are leaving their ratings behind all this stuff, understood exactly what they were doing. They were people saying, I don't want to see this movie. I'm clicking that button. I know what I'm doing. You then had the shill media trying to spin it saying, oh my gosh, it's getting review bombed. Captain Marvel's getting review bombed into oblivion. which is just not true. So no. People weren't getting confused. The media were trying to cover this story. We're trying to make excuses for this story. We're trying to justify their attacks on fans and to attack so-called trolls who are just actual regular everyday life people like me who just don't want to see this stupid movie. And so thank you for trying to use that as an excuse. The audience score percentage for those who haven't been following is the percentage of all users who have rated the movie or TV show positively, that is, given it a star rating of 3 or 3.5 or higher, and is only shown once the movie show is released. So once again, most people in their right minds did not think that is what the score was. Only the show media did. So let's just confirm ourselves. Let's confirm and let's just stay based in truth here. What you will now see at the top of a movie page or TV page once it has been released is this. Oh yes, that's right, the critics consensus, which I ripped a new a-hole last week because it's been proven and shown to be completely biased. There have been movies that have had terrible critics ratings and yet have a glowing critics consensus. Because guess what? Rotten Tomatoes controls the critics consensus because they are biased, because they are shills. And now, even more so, they have proven themselves to be absolute shills. What else are we doing? We are disabling the comment function prior to a movie's release date. Unfortunately, we have seen an uptick in non-constructive input, sometimes bordering on trolling, which we believe is a disservice to our general readership. We have decided that turning off this feature for now is the best course of action. So they also now admit that this could indeed be a temporary action. This is being done now more than ever, without any shadow of a doubt, to protect Captain Marvel, to protect Captain Whammon. What is it about this movie that has all of the shills in Hollywood writing article after article, painting any person that's critical of it, who's critical of what we know what's going on behind the scenes, who's being critical of the lead actress, who's being critical of the source material, racist, sexist, homophobic, etc. You just name it. Any bad name, that's what they're naming us as. So you're saying to me that they are going out of their way now to protect this movie. I'm sorry, but they obviously know a lot. These are probably some of the same people behind the scenes who actually got to see Captain Marvel early, so they know. They obviously know that this is a movie that must be protected. It must be protected. This is ridiculous. Don't worry though, fans will still get to have their say. Once the movie is released, audiences can leave a user rating and comments as they have as always. Yes, meaning you can't leave a "I'm not interested and do not want to see this movie," which I think is a very important thing to see because guess what? A lot of people go to this site and say, hey, is this a movie that's going to be good? Wait, the score is really low. Why is it? Let me Google that. Oh, wait a minute. There's a lot of controversy going on about this. Wait, oh my gosh, what did she say about white men? Oh, wait a minute, what's this going on? So they're able to learn. Now you have taken that voice away. Now you have shown yourself to be pure propaganda at this point. You can now only see the positives. You can now only see that. Last but not least, you will notice we're making some layout changes to the site, though our research, through our research department, we have learned that our users would prefer a cleaner, less cluttered presentation of the tomato meter and audience score. Don't worry, the information and data are still there. We promise. Sure it is. Sure it is. So what happened to the data here? What happened to the, because the data's still there. Note, Want to See is now the only button you can press. 17.7 thousand users. There are 30,000 users who have just been wiped off the map. 30 freaking thousand. So for them to say, we promise the data's still there, we promise. No, you just erased 30,000 people who said, I don't give a damn about Captain Marvel from existence because it didn't fit your narrative, because you were brought in to protect this movie. You have shielded up for this movie. You made all of these changes, including the addition of this article, which is now apparently going to be a regular thing, for the sole purpose of protecting the image of this movie. And I wonder why. I wonder why you would go out of your way to do this. But let's see even more so. View all audience ratings. Let's see what this has got. Oh, look at this. We still have a bunch of people who have had not interested, not interested, not interested. Now, we can't leave this anymore. We can't let this voice be heard. But isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? These votes are still here. These votes are all still here. And yet, what is this number here? What is this number here? Wait, 17,000 people want to see it. 17,000 people want to see it. What happened to the 30,000? We can still see the data's still there, but they're hiding it. They've even admitted it themselves. They said, we are hiding this data until the movie is released. And as I predicted yesterday, guys, to no one's surprise, all of the shill media is now coming out in force to defend Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes takes on trolls by removing want-to-see scores. It's also disabling comments for films that are not out yet. Yes, that's what it was all about. It was stopping trolls. That's what it was about. Rotten Tomatoes is overhauling its audience rating system in an effort to stamp out so-called review bombing. As a part of ongoing changes, the review aggregation site is axing the want-to-see audience anticipation rating, and I would say participation rating, ahead of the film's release. The update arrives in the wake of the latest review bombing. There was no review bombing. You need to have a review of a film in order to have a review bomb. What you had were 45,000 people going to the website. By the way, you need to have an account with the website in order to put a rating on there in the first place. So they either already had a profile, or they created a profile by connecting to their social media platform, because that's one of the ways that you connect it. And then all they did was click not interested. And in many cases, they explained why they're not interested in the movie. That's not a review bomb. That is someone saying, there are two options in front of me. Either I want to see it or I don't. Hey, I don't want to see it. My voice is now heard. And that plummeted the score to the point where only 27% of the 45,000 people actually wanted to go see it. But of course, as I predicted last night, the shills are out in full force. Oh, we got Collider, Rotten Tomatoes to no longer allow fan comments or reviews prior to the release. This is all to, a movement against trolls taking advantage of the system. No, this is not trolls. These are not trolls. These are people who are speaking out against the movie. Oh, remember back when Ghostbusters, they downvoted the trailer. Marvel Studios' so-called quote-unquote fans, oh, look at that, quote-unquote fans, intentionally tried to tank the Rotten Tomatoes score for Black Panther. Wait, hold on. Wait. They intentionally, hold on. So apparently so-called quote-unquote fans for Black Panther decided that they were going to drive down the score. Wait a minute. Black Panther, right? You just said Black Panther? Wait a minute. 85,000 reviews, 79% of audiences liked it. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah. That's your narrative, huh? That's your narrative, huh? That's your narrative, Collider? Yeah, good luck running with that. I've just proven you false. I've just proven that you are an idiot. I have just proven that you are a shill. I have just proven that the only thing that you and all of your other media hacks care about are your stupid press passes and trying to make sure that you don't step on anyone's toes, unless they're white men, unless they're, men, women of all races and backgrounds, whose only opinion in this entire world that we're dealing with here was their thought on whether or not they wanted to see this movie. Screen Rant, the whole gang's here. Rotten Tomatoes reviews, percentages, comments before movies release. Rotten Tomatoes taking a step in battle and movie trolling. It's all trolling, right? No. It was 40,000 people who said, I don't want to see it. And the last one, IndieWire. Rotten Tomatoes bans user reviews and comments before a film's theatrical release. They're taking a major step to fight internet trolls. No, they are taking a major step in what we like to call in the business shillery. They are shilling for Marvel. They are shilling for Disney. They changed everything about their site overnight to protect one movie. They can say, oh, we have references back to 2016 Ghostbusters and episode 9 is coming up, etc. They did this for one reason and one reason only. So many people wanted to make their voices heard that they did not want to see this movie, and they silenced them. They silence the free speech of people online. Now, again, they're a private company, they're a private website. They can do that. They have every right to do that. But please do not for a second. You might have the right to do that. You do not have a right to your own facts. You do not have a right to your own lies. You do not have a right to claim things that are intrinsically not true. There were 45,000 plus people who left a comment, who left a rating of not wanting to see this movie or wanting to see this movie. Only 27% of them wanted to see it. 30,000 individual people, users, real-life people, went to this site and said, I don't want to see it. Oh, but there was a campaign. If you're meaning that people were saying, hey guys, look at this score, let your voice be heard. If that's your idea of in a campaign and you're saying that people said, hey, I want to jump in on that. I don't want to see this movie either. Oh, let me create a profile. Not interested. That was fun. Let me see how much further this score can go down. That's not a hate campaign. That's not review bombing. Those are people being made aware that this is a thing and that they can add their voice to it. But what do? Rotten Tomatoes, you lose any and all credibility that you had left. I'm one of the few people that still go to this site and still used to live by this site. This is the place that I would go to find out, is a movie good? Should I go to see it? Is it going to be worth seeing? Are there controversies that I should know about beforehand? But now what you've done is you've kowtowed to the pressure of the left. You've kowtowed to the pressure of your media shill friends, and you've decided to change everything to protect one movie, Captain Marvel. As they said in their press release, this is a temporary measure. Isn't that convenient that temporary measure, that temporary time period that you have pre-established falls in line perfectly with the release of Captain Marvel? Isn't that convenient? But in the meantime, if you still want to understand where those other user ratings went, you could actually go here. So I don't know who did this, and I have no idea if this is a site that's going to cause any spam or anything. It seems pretty legit. Again, they've implanted videos from John Talks up in here, a couple other channels as well. But they give you what's called a potato meter, which I think is brilliant. And it gives you your I want to see or I am not interested. And you can choose, and you can vote. And let's see. I've already voted. So therefore, one computer equals one vote. And so what they've done here is they've taken the 40,000. What they did was they took the number. This is brilliant. They took the number of how many people had voted beforehand on Rotten Tomatoes before they did away with everything. They took that number, put the same number here, and then tried to work it out percentage-wise to match the percentage, and then they figured out, okay, now we know 27%. That means that that means only 27% were positive, the rest were negative, and now we can have this going on. Now we can just make this clear. This is amazing. This is beautiful, because all of those 30,000 votes that they've erased, still here. So if you want your voice to be heard, I'm going to leave this in the description of this video. If you want to plaster this website all around, if you want to show that, hey, you can try and silence it on Rotten Tomatoes, you can just dive down and die in that hole. You can now lose any and all credibility that you had left because you are already a far left identity politics driven company by the fact that just read your critics consensus for freaking movies. Just read how you just go out of your way to protect any film that lines up with you politically. You know, go ahead and look into all those things. And then check this out and think to yourself, I want to add my voice to this. Why not? Because this is the percentage that we can continue to go back to. Rotten Tomatoes, you can't take this score away. And I'm calling it for this right now. If any person out there has any experience whatsoever in website building, please email me, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com. I, at this point, want to start a campaign to be able to create an alternative to Rotten Tomatoes. It'll be a place where users will be able to put their own reviews out there, both comments, ratings, etc. We will have a want to see, not interested rating for any and all movies that are about to come out. Once the movie comes out, we will have the actual official audience rating for that community. And also my plan is to somehow, some way, have some kind of transference of people who put reviews out there, professional critics who put the reviews out there, and have them aggregated too. So that way we can see how the woke elitists think and also how the audiences think. And if someone wants to help me in that, if you are really good with website building, if you have any idea how to make this happen, if you have any idea just how to even get a site where you have buttons like this, or a way to be able to build a database of people being able to sign up, not using personal information, no credit cards, nothing like that, just simple email or simple social media profile, hit me up. Get in contact with me, because this is something that I've actually wanted to do for a very long time now, but this is now finally giving me the motivation. Let us create a fan alternative. Let us create a true place where fans can have not only freedom of speech, but also can let those voices be heard and heard loud and clear. Let us find a way to replace Rotten Tomatoes, because Rotten Tomatoes has now gone full shill mode, has now gone full protective mode just to protect Captain Marvel. It's time that the fans stand up, make something new, build something better. And more importantly than anything else, make it for the fans and for the people, not for the Hollywood liberal elitist trying to protect a stupid movie. Those are my thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts on this entire situation? Let me know in the comments below. But again, if you are somebody who has any expertise in website building, contact me. Let us get a back and forth going. Let's get this website built. Seriously. I think this is a great start. So on biography.com/potatometer, this is an excellent start. I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to leave this link in the description for the video. If you want to have your voice heard for this, go right ahead and vote. Let your voice be heard, because I will continue to go back to this rating and say, hey, here's what the rating would have been. Here's what the rating would have been had Rotten Tomatoes not copped out. Power of the people, man. We live in a very beautiful age, and this entire experience is awesome. But in a final note, Rotten Tomatoes, I'm done with you. I seriously, I'm done defending you at all. If I go to your site, it's going to be to see what you and your spin is trying to tell everybody. But I'm no longer going to say, oh, check out the Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm never going to tell someone, hey, go check out the audience score. It's going to be honest. It's going to tell you what it is. Because you've just shown yourself to have silenced 40,000, 30,000, over 30,000 people who all they wanted to do was say, hey, I don't have no interest in seeing this movie. That's what you did. You've hurt your brand. You've destroyed your brand. And now it's time for something better. Contact me, guys. Anyway, have a great day. If you like this video, smash that like button. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, guys. And the war now begins, because now, if they don't want us, if they do not want us leaving our thoughts of not wanting to see this movie, okay, let's speak louder. Let's speak louder than just clicking a button. Let us speak louder by not seeing this movie. I know that Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers has just now officially called for a boycott. He himself is boycotting it. He's calling for a boycott. Geeks and Gamers is separate from that. He, as an individual, is calling for it. All I can say is that if you were one of those persons, like I, who clicked not interested, stand by it. Don't see it. Don't support it. Let's tank this box office. They think we're just a bunch of trolls. They think that we're not real people. They think that our opinions just are invalid. Oh, well, these people, they just don't know. They just don't have any idea about what a good movie is. And, oh, this is just a bunch of trolly people. If they think we're trolls, let's show them that we're not. On March 8th, when this movie comes out, don't see it. In fact, if you want to go to the theater that day, buy a ticket to Alita Battle Angel. Go support an actual strong character. Go support an actual character and an actress that's not going to attack you for the color of your skin or for your gender. Who doesn't have an entire shill media at her, an entire shill media army at her dispense, to the point where they will change their entire system overnight that they've had for years. Almost a decade, probably over a decade at this point. They will change it overnight just to kowtow to her. The hero. Shove it in their face by saying, screw you. I ain't paying for it. Get ready to lose some money. Have a wonderful day, guys. And as always, God bless.